fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
After practice on Saturday, I really felt like we had a chance to win the race. You know, that's every week when we do this, you kind of get a feel, or I've gotten a feel for how practice goes on Saturday and how that, what that says about Sunday's chances. So I felt pretty good then, but when I really truly believed we could win the thing was about halfway through the race, a little past halfway, when Bob made one of those adjustments, and we drove essentially right to the lead from, I think, 12th or 11th or something. So that was a real good time. I was having a good time there.
Mike Embry, NASCAR scene. Carl, perhaps the all-too-typical response of a driver in your position today, and particularly in the points championship race, would be to say, okay, I've got second, let's take that and go on to the next race, and not risk crashing on the last lap and finishing 20th or whatever. I'm assuming from what you've already said, that never crossed your mind today.
No, it crossed my mind, but nothing's guaranteed. Not another race, not tomorrow, nothing. So I get what I can while I can, and I just figured, man, I'm not going to be able to live with myself. It's going to be hard enough to go to sleep tonight, but I couldn't. There's no way I'd sleep a wink if I didn't try something on the last lap, So you got to try.
Hey, Ryan, USA Today. Carl, hearing you describe that as a slide job, I assume that's dirt track terminology. Was the move you made to try to win this race similar to the move you made at the short tracks all around this state and Midwest?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows how to do a slide job. And by the way, that's not the exact way to do it, the way I did it. But it's just, I've won some races. Making that work, and I've gotten I've gone in a little too easy and gotten in some wrecks, and that's a bad scene, because it really just looks like you drive right in the corner and hit the guy, and that's a bad deal. So I'm from Holt Summit, Missouri. I remember one race in a Sportsman dirt car. A guy named Danny Crane did that to me, and I was leading going down the back straightaway into turn 3, last lap. And here comes this black, 78 Camaro or whatever, going about a plus 50 on me. And he slid in front of me, and I thought, wow, he's going to make that work. And then he went right off the end of the racetrack into the woods. And so I felt like my buddy Danny Crane today. I'm sure for a second Jimmy thought, oh, my God, he's going to win this thing. And then he went, nope, physics, win again. So, but, it's the way it goes.
Jim Biffle, Kansas. Carl, you talked about 8/10 of the final 3 laps. Were you catching him, or was he slowing down with a combination of both?
I was catching him. I had my eye on the real high side there for a long time, but there was a lot of trash and stuff up there. So when it came down to 3 laps to go, I realized I was not going to be able to pass him doing what I was doing, so started running the very top, and it was way faster, but it was really the last 10 inches up to the fence. So since my car is wider than that, Jimmy could go up there and kind of block that, and that's so I wasn't able to. I knew if I went in the last lap and went in there up high, he's just going to go up there and I'd be right behind his bumper and be tight and all that. And that actually happened, I think, the lap before. I hit the fence a little bit. I got behind him and got tight. So I was definitely getting faster. I just wasn't willing to take that risk earlier in the run and bounce the thing off the fence and then have to have a restart and get passed by more people. So I wanted to wait till the end.
Okay, we're back downstairs here with these two here. We'll come back to Randy and then David.
John Roger, NASCAR Fridays. Carl, can you explain to our average listener who is listening what it would be like to pull off a slide job like that on asphalt versus dirt?
It just depends on what's at the edge of the racetrack. If there's a wall like today, and that's pretty much what it looks like. If there's a cushion or some more grip up there or whatever, a lot of times you can get in front of the guy, get it parked up there, and you kind of almost block him. And if he doesn't run you over and spin you out, then you got position. You kind of set the pick there, and you can move on. It's really hard to do in these cars at a big track because there's so much space and things happen relatively slower. So momentum, a guy can watch you. Jimmy could watch me come by and go, okay, I'm going to lift off the gas a little bit, let him slide up, because it's not the fastest line. You're really just setting. You're kind of butting in line a little bit, and he has to check up a little bit for it to work. So yeah, I don't know if that explains it very well.
Casey Walkup, KSN, Wichita, Kansas. Over here. Obviously, Clint probably wants to win as much as you do coming here, and he ran into some trouble, and especially from the get-go, but he was able to come back and get in the race. How good was his car today?
I didn't get to race around Clint a lot, but it looked like he went back and forth a lot like I did. He'd have a good car and then not so good car. The track was really, really touchy today. I don't know if it's the track's cured a little bit. It's a little slicker, and the tires are still pretty hard. So it makes it a real touchy racetrack, and I think it's fun. I mean, I like that a lot. But if your car was just off a little bit, you could go from being dominant to just being average, and that seemed like that happened to a lot of guys.
Randy, if you could just wait for the mic, please.
Another two-parter.
That's fine.
Well, I got the mic. One, you said it was a good points day, but you also lost the lead. I mean, can you still find solace that you lost the lead?
Well, it's a great, it's a great points day for us. Actually, the lead doesn't matter right now. It's however many points you can get, and that's that. And if it's Greg and Jimmy and I running 1, 2, 3 for swapping the spots back and forth for the next however many races, it just takes one of us to have a bad race, and that guy's out. So yeah, it's still a good points day. The more, I mean, if you finish second every week, I guarantee you win the championship. So we just have to keep working this hard.
And you called it a bonsai move? Is that what you called it?
Yeah. That's just I guess my dad used to always say that, bonsai move. I don't know exactly what that means. I know that there's a tree called a bonsai tree. Looks nothing like that move, but I don't know.
All right. How do you spell crane?
Crane, C-R-A-N-E. Kamikaze maybe is where that came from, and it's Midwest. People sometimes don't know,
You sort of answered what I was going to ask you.
What's that?
You sort of answered what I was going to ask you, which was why not do that a little bit earlier, because it was so risky.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thinking. I mean, honestly, didn't know what was going to happen when I hit the wall. So, if a thing just broke the front suspension and skidded around to the start-finish line, I just knew I could make it that far, but not for 5 laps or something.
I mean, is this sort of you basically trying to do a combo pack of a dirt track move with a Darlington stripe and bounce off? I mean, that's basically what you're trying to pull.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple. I just need to be in front of them, and that's the only way I could figure out to get in front of them. The mistake there, if you could go back and practice that over and over, I'd run in just hard enough to miss his bumper by an inch, and then barely hit the wall and keep going. But that's you just never know what's going to happen. As soon as I turned under him, he could have turned down and run on my door, and in that case, it would have been real hard to clear him. I just did the best I could.
We'll finish up here with Bruce.
Bruce Smart with SI.com and National Speed Sport News. You've had a great start to the chase.
Yes.
Now it's off to Talladega. Now, how much apprehension do you feel going into that? Because all the way up to the last turn of the last lap, something crazy can happen there.
Well, I hadn't really thought about it much, but now that I'm just, thinking about it now, I'll probably be glued to Jimmy, no matter where he's at. If him and Greg and I can just stay together and make sure we either all avoid or all get in the same wrecks, then we'll probably be all right. If I'm running 5th and Jimmy falls back to 40th to ride around and watch some action, I will probably be following him back there, and vice versa, I assume. So we just have to make sure not to, if we can come out of like, if somebody said, hey, will you take 10th at Talladega right now and you don't have to run the race, I'd take it in a heartbeat. I'd pay $1 million for it, because you just don't know what's going to happen there. But as it stands, we're going to go there and race, and if I got a shot to win the thing, then it could be awesome. But that place, there's a lot that you can't control, and you have to respect that.